Hi, within this lecture we're going to continue learning about for loops and we're going to focus on practical usages this time. So we have seen how to work with lists. Now we're going to focus on more complex usages of for loop. So let me create a new list called my new list in here, and it will contain some tuples. So let me create tuples with strings in here, like A and B is going to be one tuple, and C and D, and I think you understand how this is going to work. I will create 4 tuples in here and mind the parentheses and quotation marks in here, like parentheses, quotation, and comma quotation as well. So what I have in here is that a new list with a tuples of strings in them. So how can I use for loop in here? Of course, I can just say for element in my new list, let me call this my new list, and then colon in here, and if I say print element, then it will just print the tuples in here. But what would be more practical if I just cast down this element to be a tuple as well? What do I mean? Rather than saying element in here, I could have said for tuple in my new list, but naming the variable tuple isn't going to make it. So you have to specify this will be a tuple by just creating a tuple variable in here, like xy is in my list, and now if I say print x or print xy, it will print out the tuples again. So this gives us the same output, but what I can do now is just say print x rather than xy. So I can just reach the first element in tuples. So I reached A, I reached C, E, and G. So this is pretty, right? I can just take out the elements as tuples and I can do that. Print X and print Y. So I don't have to go nested for loop in here, like do one for loop for tuples and then just do another for loop for inside that tuple as well. I can just say for xy in my new list and take these elements as tuples in a single line, single for loop. So this is pretty. So let me show you another thing at my tuple list. Let me create another list, and this time this will have numbers in it, and this will be triple, like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and like 9 or 11. So can I do this XYZ? Of course we can. So for XYZ in my tuple list, and with a colon of course, I can say print X, and it will take the first element out of that each tuple. So this will be helpful when working with tuples. And let me show you how to work with dictionaries as well, because we didn't see them in the previous lecture, right? So let us create a new dictionary called my dictionary this time, and this will have a key value pairing of key 1, and the key 1 has value of 100, key 2 has value of 200, and key 3 has value of 300. So this is my dictionary, and if I can say for, and how do I cast the dictionary elements in here? So I can reach my dictionary items by saying my dictionary.items, right? So if you hit tab in here, and you will see all the things like items, keys, and if I call items, it will give me items as in here, like key 1, 100, key 2, 200. So I can use the same thing in dictionaries as well. All I have to do is just say for A and B in my dictionary.items. Okay, and hit a colon in here and say print A, for instance. If I hit Shift Enter, it will give me just all the keys, and if I hit Print B, it will give me all the values. And so I can say for key and value in my dictionary, and it will make more sense. So print key, it will give me all the keys. And don't be confused because of this parenthesis thing. So I didn't use a parenthesis in here, but I used before, so I could have used in here as well. So it really doesn't matter. So if you can just clear the parentheses from here, it will still work. So decide whatever you want in here. So let's stop here, and within the next lecture we're going to see something called continue, break, and pass.